Hi everyone, today we'll talk about 3 types of lenses or focal length, to be exact 35, 50 and 85mm. These are the most frequently used lenses for shooting portraits. They are all considered universal, but each one of them was designed for a particular task in portrait photography. There is no need to buy them all together. For some photographers it might simply be a waste of money, so before ordering your lenses, check out their features to choose the right ones depending on your taste and needs. Let's begin with the 35mm lens. It's a wide-angle lens, so it lets you take a full-length photos without stepping back from your model. This lens also captures the surroundings and the background very well, so you can bring it with you on a vacation to photograph the beautiful places you visit. If your lens has the f2.8 aperture like mine, it will apply a delicate blur on the background, so the model will still stay in focus. Since the 35mm lens is a wide-angle lens, it compresses and pulls the object in the frame. Keep that in mind when you take close-ups of your model. Think about the portrait angles beforehand, since you plan to use only this lens for your whole photo shoot. This way you'll avoid any facial distortions in your photo. Either way, this is a practical lens type that will suit most portrait photographers, but it will work best for bloggers and lifestyle photographers who take full-length portraits showing the surroundings. The 50mm lens is the most popular prime lens even among beginner photographers. But why do so many people prefer it? The thing is that the 50mm focal length is perfect for classic portrait photography. It's also universal for taking photos from any distance. You can use it for both close-ups and full-body shots. Besides, it lets you take group photos and capture the model's surroundings. To me, this lens is a must-have for every photographer who deal with portraits. The 50mm lens is best for portrait photography in terms of optical properties. It won't distort the facial features of the model in your photos, unlike the 35mm lens. My lens has the f2 aperture, which gives a lovely blurry effect. When choosing a 50mm focal length, ensure that its ISO values are similar. Then you'll have an irreplaceable tool for taking fascinating shots. Your models will also be grateful. Let's compare full-length portraits taken with the 35mm and 50mm lens. You can see that the compression is stronger in the picture shot with the 50mm lens. The objects in the background look like they are closer to the model than in the photo taken with the 35mm lens. In close-ups, the model face also looks different. For similar portrait photos, I recommend using the 50mm lens. Just look at this background. Compression makes it look remarkable. To make the most out of it of this lovely portrait, I will apply some retouch and color correction. I will use PhotoWorks for the job since it features powerful retouching tools which are super convenient. Anyone can figure out how to use them. I love this photo and the model look gorgeous, but we all want to look flawless in our photos, don't we? So I'll tweak her facial features just a slight. I'm switching to the retouch tab and selecting the face sculpt tool. I'm going to use the sliders to edit the face width and the chin. Then I'll make the nose smaller. Look at the result. I only enhance the model features, yet maintaining her unique appearance. I also want to get rid of the frizzy hair. I'll use the clone stamp for this job. First I need to adjust the brush. I'll use a soft brush to make seamless changes. A few clicks and we are done. You can download PhotoWorks using the link in the description box. Enjoy the cool features within the free trial and get most out of the photo editor in the full version. Follow the second link below to get a generous discount. Last but not least, 85mm lens. I wouldn't call it a universal lens or must-have for portrait photography. If you are buying your first lens, you better choose a more practical one. You should add an 85mm lens only if you are really into portrait photography and have some extra money to spend. To explain the difference, I will take full-body portraits using this lens. To take such portraits at this focal length, you have to move very far away from your model. This distance between you and the model can cause quite a few difficulties. Firstly, it's get harder to communicate with the model and guide them in their posing. Secondly, if you are shooting in a crowded place, it's likely that the stranger will pass by and interrupt the photo shoot. This lens is worst trained for shooting close-ups. For example, it's a great complement to a wedding photo shoot kit. You can also use it to shoot business portraits or photos of newborn children. Besides, photographs taken with the 85mm lens will definitely spice up your portfolio. It's more convenient to take full-length portraits using a 50mm lens, but for close-ups, be free to use an 85mm lens. Still, I don't recommend this focal length for every portrait type. It might work well for close-ups and head and shoulders portraits, but that's mostly it, so you will probably have to bring two lenses with you. Now I'll show what your portraits might look like taking a different focal lens, but from more or less similar angles and distances. This way it'll be easier for you to decide on the needed focal length, because you'll see what results you can get with each. Now I'll change the location and use each lens to shoot the portraits it works best with. I'll use the 35mm lens for full-length shots, the 50mm lens for bust and waist portrait, and the 85mm lens for close-up portraits. And let me show you how I edited this full-body portrait with another tool in PhotoWorks called the Body Sculpt. All I did was slightly correct the body of my model. I made the adjustment carefully so that it looks natural and the fence didn't get distorted. And then I applied a filter from built-in collection. Let's summarize the new information. Not everyone can afford to have all the three lenses at the portrait shooting. Besides, constantly changing the lenses during the photo shoot might get annoying. Instead, immerse yourself and get in touch with your model. Decide what shots you want in advance and the focal length accordingly. Sure, you can experiment with all of them at a photo studio, but don't risk it on the street, at a cafe, or in a park. If I was asked to pick one single lens, I'd go for the 50mm one. If I was to choose two, then I'd pick duo of 50 and 35mm lenses. And that's all for today. Thanks for watching. If you like this episode, give it a thumbs up and share what focal length and photo genre you prefer in the comments below. Subscribe to our channel to never miss a useful tutorial by our team, and see you in the next video.